All right, super exciting things going on today with the Civic. I have a heap load of Mishimoto parts that we're putting in this thing, and we're gonna get this thing's cooling system up to race spec. This is super exciting.
Yeah, that is the good stuff there.
Welcome to Garb Car Garage. What's up, people? I'm Dave. You're watching Garb Car Garage, and we're back working on the 8th Gen Civic here. So we've got some really exciting things going on today. I've got a massive Mishimoto haul, and we're going to be completely overhauling the cooling system on this car. Now, we've been having some issues with it before, not leaks, but it doesn't get up to temperature, so assuming we got a bad thermostat. I mean, this car has almost 457,000 kilometers on it, so that's like probably close to 280,000 miles, and it looks all original. So we're gonna rip this old cooling system out, and we're gonna throw in this brand new Mishimoto system. Now the problem is, none of the parts that I'm installing on this car are for the R18 Civic. Everything is listed as for the SI. So I'm really hoping that it's going to go well. Now, the only thing that actually Mishimoto specifically makes for the R18 are rad hoses. So we do have the Mishimoto colored rad hoses that are specific to this vehicle. But other than that, the rads for the SI, the fans for the SI, the thermostat's supposed to be for the SI. So I'm super excited. I've been looking forward to this one for a while. So first thing we're gonna do is get underneath the hood of the car. We're gonna get the bumper off, and then we're gonna kind of see what's going on next, what our next steps are. So let's go. All right, so the first thing we've got to do is we're going to remove this plastic cowl that covers basically where the rad is and the rad support is. Now the problem is that hood shock that we installed in the last video is completely over top of the plastic. So I'm going to have to remove that bolt for the hood shock. I'll bolt it back in because after it's all done, we're not going to be reinstalling this because you can't even see the radiator underneath it. And what's the point of having a nice aluminum radiator if nobody can see it when you pop the hood? You want a little bit of a wow factor when you're popping the hood at a car show or just kind of showing things off. And again, I know it's an R18, but you got to do what you got with what you got. We're going to make this thing look as good as possible when this hood is popped. So I'm going to get the shock off. I'm going to pop this portion off. Now there's basically two clips left holding it in. So we'll just pop those off with a trim tool. And yeah, then we'll see what we're looking at after that.
All too easy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, car's lifted on both sides now. We should have enough room to get underneath it to release those bumper clips. We've got also two Phillips screws that should be in either side of the bumper that go into the fender that should release it. So we're gonna get underneath the car, we're gonna get the clips off of it, we'll get the screws released, we'll get the bumper removed, and then we'll get the rad drained and see what our next step is. So there is the screw on each side of the fender.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna have to be removed. Okay, so we've got the bumper off and we can see the radiator and condenser assembly there. But what we noticed, which is really nasty, is down here, it looks like the condenser has exploded. So we know for sure that we're not going to have any air conditioning. Next thing we're going to do is drain the rad. There's no survivors, just all over the place. There's no survivors. We're going to have to remove this entire
cross member here. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so we've got most of the components removed from the top of the cross member. We've got the upper rad mounts removed, the condenser brackets removed. We had a nice bolt break in here, which was awesome. So that is one of the lower condenser mounts. So we have one, we took that one out, 2, 3 more bolts. The whole cross member should move away, and that will give us complete access to everything else underneath it and get this thing removed. All right, so theoretically, we should just pull, it should come up. I forgot there are 2 more bolts on the back of the rad support, so we'll get those out, and then it should come out.
Goodbye.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You will die.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we can see the entirety. Cooling fans and all. So we're going to unplug the fans. We're really close to removing it. So our next step is we're going to remove the upper rad hose, and coincidentally right underneath it is the lower rad.
Stop that. Bring it back. This shit is hot.
Protect Positive Squad.
Drop this shit, bitch. Your sis, plus some your dollars. Your sis, plus some your dollars. Your sis, plus some your dollars. Your sis, plus some your dollars.
All right, so we've got the rad and fan assembly out of the Civic. Unfortunately, we did find a fair amount of grime and some surface rust, and a little bit worse behind some of these brackets that were on there. So before I proceed, I'm going to clean this up a little bit. We'll start getting the rad and fans assembled, and we'll start getting this thing back together.
So shocking to no one, found more rot. Got it all cleaned out now. We're gonna give it a coat of paint just to protect it all, but man, the problem with these old Canadian cars is every time you do anything, all you do is find more and more rust underneath. So you have to be prepared for that every time you're working on one of these old cars in the Rust Belt climates. So we're gonna give this, tape it off. We don't want the fenders or headlights getting covered, ABS module or anything like that.
Oh yeah.
Play this record as frequently as possible.
Alright, so while I'm waiting for that paint to dry, I think I will go and replace the thermostat. So that is the thermostat housing there. I do have a new housing. I'm going to get those 3 10mm bolts removed, pull the thermostat out, change the thermostat.
Let me tell you something, brother. Kirby made 666, brother.
Welcome. You've got mail.
It's time to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of gum.
Okay, so I'm going to give that a little bit of a cleanup. Hit it with a bit of sandpaper there, clean that all up nicely. Mating surface, so we'll get the new thermostat and housing on there.
You will die.
Alright, old thermostat and housing are out. There she is, thermostat and housing. Kind of grimy, kind of dirty, that's fine. So we've got a new, brand new 4 Seasons water seal outlet and brand new Mishimoto thermostat. So we'll get these in. So there are 2 tabs on the back of the thermostat. You can see there. What those do is they're going to have to line them up with those 2 little grooves on the inside of the housing.
There's no survivors, just that blood scattered all over the place. There's no survivors, just that blood scattered all over the place. There's no survivors, just that blood scattered all over the place. There's no survivors, just that blood scattered all over the place.
And that's it. Thermostat housing and thermostat changed. Alright, so the paint is drying, the thermostat is in, and we're going to open up these 2 other Mishimoto boxes. Now these have the Si Rad and the Si Rad fans. So all of my research, be it looking at these cars in the scrapyard, going on Rock Auto, this rad and fans should be almost identical. So we're going to open up the boxes, we're going to lay them down, we're going to compare them to the rad and fans that we took off, and hopefully everything will line up with no modifications, and this will just drop right in there. So we're going to open these boxes up and see what we got inside. This is our fans. All in all, these are pretty nice. I mean, these are going to be very slim compared to the stock ones that are in there. I mean, they'll probably be a little bit louder, but with how much more cooling they're going to offer, these look like they're going to be awesome. So let's get the rad open. Even in the box, this thing is pretty. So I mean, so far everything looks good. We got our inlets and outlets on the top there. We've got our drain cock, lower rad hose positions there. This is a block off, but this is where our coolant temperature sensor is supposed to go. And like all Mishimoto radiators, it's stamped with the M right on the front. So we're gonna lay these guys down. I'm just gonna lay the fans on top of the rad, then we'll mock this up and compare it against the rad that we took off. Okay, so there they are laid on top of each other.
You will die.
And here's the original. As far as I can tell, these things are identical. Originally, I saw those holes in the top there, wondering why those are there and not used, but those are mounts if you're going to be using the original fans and not the low profile version. So we'll get these rad hoses on, we'll get the fans bolted to the radiator, and this thing is ready to drop right back in.
Drop this shit, bitch.
The difference is, it's just night and day on how good they look.
Now we're going to swap over a couple things from the old rad to the new rad. Now first and foremost, on the bottom of the old rad, you're going to have these feet. Now these basically are the little rad supports that will fit into the car. So you just need to swap both of those over onto the bottom. They just pull off. And they go on the feet on the bottom. There is a coolant temperature sensor in there. I do not recommend removing it for what it costs. Get a new one. There's one of 2. I bought both. The other one goes in the engine. I'll figure out which one it needs. Now this is normally where we would swap over hoses, but since We have brand new hoses. We don't need to worry about that. So these are the Mishimoto Rad hoses specifically for the R18 engine. Got upper and lower rad hoses. It does not come with the filler neck hose, so we will have to reuse that. Now it does come with stainless steel clamps and hardware. The rad fan does come with stainless steel hardware. We have anti-vibration foam. So we're going to be lining the inside of the fan shroud on both sides with the anti-vibration foam.
Play this record as frequently as possible.
Foam all the way lined around the shroud. And it gets mounted on our rad. Now it can only go one way. The top bolts come with a bolt, lock washer, and a regular.
This is a certified hood classic.
Bottom is the larger bolt. Next, we're going to install hoses. So the reason I left the rad here is we can have a look at the hose length and size and make sure that we're putting the right one on the right side. So this one with the line in it.
Protect Positive Squad.
Drop this shit, bitch.
And lastly, we're going to reinstall filler spout, but I'm not going to be using the old discussing spring clamps. We've got new stainless clamps for that.
Just that plus scattered all over the place. There's no survivors, just that plus scattered all over the place. There's no survivors, just that plus scattered all over the place.
Okay, so now I'm going to remove the tape and we're going to drop the rad into the car. Now it's time to get the upper rad support back in, but I still have a couple problems. One, I have the condenser mount is still broken inside of it, and I really don't want to extract it. And two, this thing is almost as rotten as the rest of the car. So what I think I'm going to do is get a new one. We can do something interesting with it and get that back in the car. Since we no longer have a prop rod, this portion
Certified hood classic.
is unnecessary. So I think we're going to cut this off. We'll get a new upper rad support on, and this thing's going to look mint.
We die.
Stop that. Bring it back. This shit
So I think this looks a hell of a lot better. We've got no prop rod that's been cut off. Let's get this thing on.
This shit, bitch.
Your sis, plus I'm motherfucking dollars. Your sis, plus I'm motherfucking dollars. Your sis, plus I'm motherfucking dollars. Your sis, plus I'm motherfucking
Okay, so now we're going to put the wiring loom back in underneath it and all the other clips underneath the hood. Okay, so we're about ready to put the supports back in the rad at the top. We've got a nice painted rad support. Disgusting, rotten, horrible mounts. Good thing is, we got some fresh painted ones too. So let's get these guys in and get this thing finally bolted back up.
All too easy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, so the car's pretty much all back together. All we've got to do now is get the bumper on it, get the clips in the bottom, get some coolant in it, bleed it out, and she's all set and good to go. So I actually have a set of the OE 5mm bolts that are supposed to retain the bumper. These are going back in. Okay, all that's left now is we gotta bleed the cooling system and make sure there's no leaks.
It's time to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of gum.
Oh yeah.
This is a certified hood classic.
Oh yeah.
You will die.
Oh yeah. Your sis, plus I'm motherfucking dollars. Your sis, plus I'm motherfucking dollars. Your sis, plus I'm motherfucking dollars. Your sis, plus I'm motherfucking dollars.
Stop that. Bring it back. This shit is hot.
Protect Positive Squad.
Rad is in. Cooling system kind of bled now. That Mishimoto thermostat we put in was a high performance racing thermostat, so it's going to take a little more than idling in the garage to completely get all the air out of the system. The other caveat is when I put this car away, I didn't put any gas in it, which breaks two rules. One, never store a car with an empty gas tank. Two, make sure you've got enough fuel to do what you're doing. I'm going to call this one a giant success. I'm super happy with how it looks. Other than finding a couple little bits of rust underneath there that we weren't intending on, I couldn't be any happier with how this turned out. Not only is it going to function phenomenally, between the red, the aluminum, and the blue, it's just 100% eye-catching. So I got a lot more stuff to go into this car. We're gonna make under this engine bay look really, really good. I really appreciate everyone taking the time to watch this. If you're gonna try this yourself, I haven't seen anyone do it before. So if you have, fantastic. If not, you got an R18. You know the Mishimoto Rad Fan Hose SI combination fits this car perfectly. So have at her. Let's show the R18 some love. It's kind of one of the forgotten Honda engines, and I think there's a ton of untapped potential with this thing. So again, thank you all so very much for watching. There's a ton of content still coming out for this car. There's still BMW content coming. Kyle's got a little bit of Fiat content coming still. Nate's got a couple surprises. There's going to be a lot being churned out on the channel over the next couple months. A lot of exciting stuff happening. Also want to give a big shout out to DJ Smokey, the official music of Guard Car Garage. Check him out on iTunes, Spotify, and SoundCloud.
So again, thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe to the channel. I'm hoping you'll stick around. A lot of cool stuff coming to this car. If you're interested in seeing what a base model Civic can become, we're hoping to do some really amazing things to this car. So again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Frequently as possible.
Goodbye.